Silas Demary, who was one of Georgia's best players, probably top two, depending on how you viewed him as Asa Newell, but one of those two best players for Georgia, now headed to UConn to take over the at least projected to take over the point guard role for the Huskies. Demary was really, really good at Georgia. 13 and a half points per game, nearly 4 boards, over 3 assists. So, Dion, how do you project Demary at UConn, what his role will be, what his impact will be?
I think his role is might fluctuate. I expect him to start originally. I watched the McDonald's All-American game first time about a decade, by the way. So shout out to me. I thought Darius Adams struggled a little bit in it. It's the McDonald's All-American game, but it's probably like the first like full length game of Darius Adams I was able to watch. It was very clear that they at least need somebody else on the roster in that point guard role. And they got that now. And I think what Silas does is it allows Adams to kind of like take a deep breath and just develop. And if you allow people to just develop with Dan Hurley, I think you get like a phenomenal result. Look at Alex Caravan, for example, Tristan Newton, solo ball. The list goes on. And I think it allows the freshmen to kind of take a deep breath and be like, hey, like, we don't have that same level of pressure that the Duke freshmen had, but we do have one of the best classes in the country, if not the best class in the country. And
Mhm.
we just have to kind of fit in. And if we fit in, we're looking at a national title team. So I think Silas Demery starts. Um, and the only reason he wouldn't start is if, their McDonald's All-American freshman point guard just winds up being one of the best point guards in the country, which is extremely possible too. And if you get that result and Silas Demery comes off the bench, I think he would fit well into like a high energy, volume scoring defensive bench role on like maybe a national title team as well, if that's the case.
I view this as them trying to get Tristan Newton 2.0.
Okay.
Like Tristan Newton was so vital into what UConn did during those back-to-back national title runs. Demary strikes me as a very, very similar player. Right? Like playing at Georgia and playing at ECU, playing in the American, playing in the SEC are two different things. His last season at ECU, Newton averaged 17.7 points, 4.8 boards, 5 assists, shot 43% from the field, 33 from three. Like pretty steady across the board, going to contribute in every single way. Demary does not have the same kind of like total field goal effectiveness. He's shot below 40% from the field this year, but had that same kind of like good number of points. You can rebound and make plays for others as well. You can shoot the three, shot 37.5% from three on nearly 5 attempts per game. The, the, the comparisons are there and the similarities are there. I think they're going to probably put him in that role, but the fact he can shoot and do the rebounding stuff, play some defense at a high level as well. Like you can play him off the ball too. And having that kind of versatile piece like Tristan Newton was, who can do a little bit of everything, is vital. Like I think you look at what this UConn team did not have that the last two national title teams had. Yes, they did not have like the Donovan Clingan interior presence. They did not have the Steph Castle or Jordan Hawkins or Andre Jackson kind of guys on the wing. But the biggest issue for me was they did not have the point guard play, and they did not have the like steadying hand of a Tristan Newton type out front. To me, Demary is that guy.
I could see that. I could see that. I can see that. I like that comp. I also think Silas Demery is a guy that needs similar development that like a Tristan Newton needed as well, or
Yeah.
even like an Alex Caravan needed as well. I think
We interrupt this sleepers video to talk directly to you, our loyal listener. Have you ever found yourself watching us two idiots thinking, hey, I wish there was a very easy, small way for me to show a token of my appreciation for all of their hard work on all these videos I love to watch? Well, now we have just the way to do that.
Thanks to the beautiful folks over at Underdog Fantasy. They are helping us out this month, presenting a lot of the content coming out this month, giving you a chance with a amazing offer that you can use using our promo code that Gregory will tell you more about.
Yeah, so college hoop season's over. But we got like big time golf tournaments. The NBA playoffs are coming. Baseball season's underway. There's still a bunch of sports on. There's still a bunch of ways to play with Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SLEEPERS. As a new customer, you can get up to 1,000 bonus credits plus a free pick. It's one of the most fun ways to play. It's a great way to support us. And on some actual like non-ad read stuff, talking genuinely here, really helps us, because if Underdog loves us, if we get a lot of people to sign up, they're going to help us continue to bring you the content that you love. Show your support. Join Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a free pick.
With solo ball, if you're a UConn fan, you have to go in assuming this is the last year. With the 3 freshmen, whether it is or isn't, that has to be how you feel, at least at this moment, because their intention as 3 McDonald's All-Americans is to be one and done. Whether they are or not, we'll see, but that's their intention. Silas Demary will most likely be at UConn for 2 years. And so I think that's super important too, is if everything goes the way it's supposed to go and everyone you expect to leave leaves, he's still there and you have a connecting piece for the next 2 to 3 teams.
Yeah. And the thing too with Demery is, like, if he comes off the bench, I think he's okay with that, because if he's coming off the bench, that means you're probably winning, because those freshmen are awesome. Flip side of that, because of how good solo ball projects to be, which I think will be All-American good this year, taking another step forward, or next season, the freshman would then be like off the bench. And you could look at somebody who's going to have NBA potential who sat for a while and did not have that big role. So that would like convince those freshmen to come back for a second season. Let's just for the sake of argument, let's say there's your backcourt's going to be Demery and solo ball. How would that backcourt rank among the better backcourts in the country? Like, how would you feel confident with that group?
Is Braylon Mullins at the 3?
Let's just stick 1 and 2.
1 and 2?
Demery and Ball.
I think it's up there. I think it's top 5 to 10. I think that backcourt feels a lot better if it's viewed in the light that Auburn's is, where you have like 3 dudes type of thing. Or even like, like a Duke where you have like 3 dudes type of thing. Florida even as well, right? Like honestly, any Final Four team, I was about to just go down the list. All the Final Four teams, like you kind of view their backcourt as like they had 3 potential dudes. So I feel like it looks a lot better if you view it that way. But just those 2 alone, solo ball, I think is probably the, one of the 5 best returning guards in the country. And Demery is one of the best, like I guess you could say, Robins to a backcourt that there is in the country at the moment as well. And when you factor in all the depth they have, like imagine Demery or Darius Adams for that matter in like the Tahad Pettiford role.
Right.
Like that's a very easy visual to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the freshmen, there's going to be other options, right? The thing with Tristan Newton, we talked about him a lot his first season at UConn as being the 5th option in that offense, but he was the one who was awesome in the Final Four. Like Demery, to me, if you bring him on, he's your 4th or 5th option in the offense. It's kind of what you're bringing him on to be. And that bodes incredibly well for your potential.
Absolutely. I think this team has a lot of options on how to be a national championship team. That's what you need to win a national championship. I think you need optionality, and they have that. Yep. And if Darius Adams struggles, you have Silas Demary who can pick up the slack. If Demary struggles, you have Adams who can pick up the slack. You have solo ball, you know what you'll get out of him. Front court, you have a lot of options. And then you have the wild card. What if Alex Caravan comes back? What if Braylon Mullins turns out to be everything we think he's going to be? Now you have potentially with Caravan, with solo ball, with Adams, with Ryby, with Mullins, you could have 3, 4, maybe 5 first-round picks out of that group.
Be a Final Four team.
Yeah. Dan Hurley's back. Dan Hurley, by the way, dominated the Final Four. I saw Dan Hurley a few times in the arena. Elite. I'm all the way in on Hurley.